just one note, I wanted to mention something that will happen next week, beginning with next week. There will be change, a slight change to our ritual, to our service. It's not my invention, comes from the heart of the Synod, and on February 4th, next Sunday, there will be a slight change in one movement, and I only mention that to those of you who had lived with the service for ages, for a long time, and surely it's somehow incarnated in you, that it's not a mistake if you see in the second part of the service in the offertory. For now, if you remember, when the substances are poured to the chalice, the priest would stand on the right side of the altar and turn to the server of the, so to speak, right corner of the altar. The change will consist in the priest, once I go and get hold of the chalice, I remain standing in the center. And the server will come close to the center of the altar with the water and juice. So it will take time for all of us to really live into that change. Of course, one always asks for reasons for things like that. The reason there is that the idea is the actual act of entering the relationship with the spiritual world is something that happens from the center of our being. And the center of the altar, where the celebrant remains from this moment all through the end of the service, pretty much, is the picture of the center of the human being. So etherically, as a community, we follow those movements from right to left. We're always a little bit eccentric in our ways of incarnation, until through our devotion, through our consciousness of Christ, we can come into our middle as human being, as humanity. And from there, we establish this new relationship with the spiritual world. To you, O ground of the world, be offered this draught of health. This is a statement that can be only done by a healthy human being. This comes into expression in the fact that we reach our middle. We'll see how it, those things are, one thing is talk about it theoretically, and one thing is live the service. I'm always a preferent of that other option, that there is not much to say about service. The sacrament has to be lived. Why? Because it works not so much on the intellectual, astral, we would say, part of our being, but being a religious rite, being a ritual, it goes deep into what we call the etheric, the life body, the body of the formative forces of the human being. Now, typically, this body of the formative forces is largely unknown to us. There are currents in this ether body, there are movements in this ether body, they carry life itself. They govern the life of our organs, the harmony within our body, the homeostasis. They should remain unknown to a certain degree. What is new in this path, in this religious path that was given to us through Rudolf Steiner, is that we actually know and we take responsibility in shaping those currents, those streamings within the ether body together with the spiritual world. In other words, we gradually become conscious and aware of the elemental etheric world through our religious devotion, through our religious praxis. This is just a footnote, but it will tie together, I hope, with what I'm trying to bring here together in this talk.